Hello and welcome to the Rundown. Nintendo has been hammered pretty hard lately. The Wii U hasn't sold as well as they'd hoped, leading company president Satoru Iwata to adjust Nintendo's sales goals. Nintendo took a big hit last year on the home console, especially if you compare sales to its predecessor, the original Wii. Oh, but Nintendo did sell another 13 million 3DSs. Let's ignore that for now, but it'll be important in a minute. Iwata has been under pressure to either step down or do something drastic to right the ship. Mobile phone gaming is pretty big these days, so unsurprisingly, analysts have suggested that Nintendo should make games for iOS and Android. Iwata isn't keen on the idea. Cell phone gaming is popular, of course. Quote, "The spread of smart devices does not spell the end of game consoles. It doesn't mean that we should put Mario on smartphones," Iwata said. Following that, there are plenty of stories comparing Nintendo's troubles to Sega's following the flop of the Dreamcast. Never mind that the Dreamcast was incredibly ahead of its time. I mean, you want online play, you can thank Sega for it. Stocks dropped pretty hard after Iwata announced that Mario won't be on iPhones. And the internet has ripped Nintendo apart for it. Really? You think Nintendo should make games for phones? Take a step back. Remember that part when I said the 3DS would be important? Yeah, that's now. The 3DS is the core of Nintendo at the moment. It's what keeps them going. And you want them to chuck that away just because people like to play Candy Crush. No. That's not how this works. You have a 3DS solely to play games. Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Phoenix Wright, Mario. These games are designed for one system, and they're complete packages that you buy up front and play at your discretion. What's being suggested here is that Nintendo make, a new Super Mario game and stick it on the App Store. A 3DS game is usually around a $40 purchase. Who's going to buy a $40 iOS game? No one. Free-to-play is what drives revenue in the App Store. You really think you'd want a free-to-play Mario game? With what, one level? Or maybe you couldn't use items unless you paid 99 cents in a microtransaction, and you can only play for a few minutes before Mario gets tired. Or you could pay $1 to recharge his energy instantly. Yeah, that sounds fun. Listen, if you want to mess around with gimmicky games on your phone, that's one thing. But for Nintendo, whose entire business model rests on the respect of its IPs, that's not going to happen. Why should Nintendo even bother? The 3DS is working quite well for those who want to play in-depth video games on a mobile platform. Now the criticism to that is, well, maybe you don't want to carry around another device all the time. I get that. I mean, my pants have pockets because they're pants, but maybe yours don't. Or you carry a pocketbook and you don't want another device taking up space. That's fair. But then you're probably playing simple Flash games that were designed for touchscreens, like Candy Crush and Angry Birds. But you can do hardcore games on iPhones now. Apple has gaming peripherals. Yeah, for what, $100? And you'd have to carry the add-on with you, so how is that more convenient than the 3DS? What all of this doom and gloom suggests is that Nintendo should ignore its biggest moneymaker in a market that it dominates just to pursue another hot market. And that would detract from its product. Analysts and investors believe that the only gaming people do away from their homes is on their phone. Really now. 43 million 3DSs sold so far. Regardless of what you think of Nintendo, you can't deny that their software drives their hardware sales. You want Zelda and Pokemon games? You buy Nintendo consoles. Investors are chastising Iwata's decision right now, but what they fail to realize is that while Nintendo does need to shake things up, and Iwata admitted that much at least, developing mobile games to cash in on the current market boom would cut Nintendo's nose off to spite its face. Thanks for joining us. You can follow the show on Facebook and Twitter at IBTimesTV.